Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Life with Goldie podcast, where we travel around the world talking to all the Golden Hoodie recipients about their journey in the Salesforce ecosystem. I'm Mia Pacey, your host, also a Golden Hoodie recipient, but today we're joined with Tony Nguyen. How are you going, Tony?
Good. It's so great being here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming. I mean, it's so great to finally talk to you. I've seen you on Twitter and LinkedIn getting your golden hoodie. It's so exciting. But I think you got it this year at Dreamforce. Is that right?
No, I actually got it last year. So like the 2021
Perfect.
Dreamforce. Yeah.
Amazing. Time flies so quickly. That's right.
Yeah.
The last Dreamforce, that was amazing. I'm so glad that we were able to do that and have some people in person. And you can get your golden hoodie in person. But let's talk about that presentation down the track. Today, I guess we want to share with everyone listening each of our journeys and our stories and how we got to where we are now, to try and inspire someone that might be on a similar journey. Would you be able to take us through how Salesforce or Trailhead came into your life and how you got to where you are now?
Yeah, for sure. And I think this can probably relate with a lot of people. So I got laid off during COVID, so like March of 2020. And I feel like, I'm probably one of the millions of people that, got laid off as well. And so before doing Salesforce, I was in hospitality. So I was doing restaurant stuff. And I didn't really want to continue because I felt like I was working a lot and I wasn't really enjoy the things I was missing in life, right? So I knew that I wanted to go and learn a new skill set, enter a different industry. And I was like, you know what? Tech sounds pretty cool. I used to play a lot of video games growing up. So, Trailhead got me really addicted. But besides that, I wanted to get into tech. And then a friend introduced me to, she was like, you know what, Tony, I feel like you'd be like a great Salesforce admin. And I was like, wait, hold on. Like, what is Salesforce? Right? Like, I had no idea. And then I started Googling some stuff, as always, Google is like your best friend, right? And then I was trying to find a way to skill up because everything that I was seeing, like a training program, was like $3,000-$4,000, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this, I don't have a place, I don't have a home, I'm jobless, I don't have money. There's no way I can afford that.
Yeah.
So that's when I ran to Trailhead. And then after reading all those success stories, I ran into Pep Up Tech. I was like, okay, like I don't know what Pep Up Tech was. And it was like, okay, it's a free learning program for like underrepresented group people. I was like, this is so me, like I need to apply. So that's when I applied for it.
Amazing.
Yeah. So that's kind of like how I really got started into the Salesforce ecosystem.
I mean, it's so relatable for people during the pandemic. We don't talk about it now, but
yeah.
But I know that so many people, got laid off, got hours reduced, had their lives turned upside down because of it. And you were able to find a solution. I love that you were like, oh, IT, let me go into that one. I don't think anyone ever thinks that when they're like, oh, I'm in restaurateuring. And I'm like, yes, IT is my next step. I know you said you did gaming, but what really drew you to the IT kind of industry? What was out there for you?
I think it wasn't particular IT, but more like just the tech world itself. Like I wanted to get into tech because like I used to love building computers like growing up. So, was very nerdy about that. But I just knew I wanted to get into technology. Never pursue it, So I was like, there's no better time for me to pursue something new.
Lay everything out on the table. You know that this is a time where you have the opportunity to choose a new path. And you chose, to go on Pep Up Tech. So for some of us that don't understand or don't know what Pep Up Tech is, can you give us a quick overview of what they're able to help you out with?
Yeah, for sure. So Pep Up Tech is a nonprofit that helps minorities and underrepresented group of people enter the tech space by providing Salesforce training. I think there's actually more training that's coming along, but since it's a nonprofit, everything is free. So you can just go to their website, apply. If you want to become a Salesforce admin, you can just go and apply for their training. So what happens is we go through a pretty intensive training. I think it's like right now it's like 3 months, I believe. And
wow.
you take the class. When I was doing it, it was a little different, but right now you take the class 3 days a week. And then throughout each week, you learn different topics, different skill set that you need to be successful admin. And then they actually help place you in like an intern position or sometimes even full-time positions. And yeah, it's just amazing. You get to work with me if you join. There's a lot of people that's there to support you. So yeah, Pep Up Tech's amazing.
There you go, everyone. You get to work with Tony. That's amazing. No, I think that's great. And then they help you try and get out into the career world and bridge that gap as well. Obviously, you've been very successful. Did you find that starting your first job in Salesforce that you were prepared for that because of Pep Up Tech and you were able to do that? Or was it still like a bit of a, I'm a big little fish in a big pond?
Yeah, I don't think anyone is prepared to start their first
Yeah.
Salesforce job.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people have the same question, right? Like when I got accepted a role at Calabrio, thank you to Evan, by the way, I had so much questions. I was like, can I do this? Like, you're going from a playground or dev org to an actual org. Am I gonna break anything? Am I gonna destroy anything? Like, you're so scared to do things, you know? And it's like it takes people that you work with telling you that, like, hey, everything's gonna be fine. We have backup system. You're not gonna break anything. There's a sandbox that you can develop in. You know, you'll be okay, right? And I think it still took me a while to get that confident and skill set to like, oh, okay, like I'm not going to destroy anything. No one's going to die, you know?
Yeah. I'm so thankful for backups, I must admit.
For sure.
It's one of those things where you're just like, okay, I can click around in my sandbox, but even that's got a backup.
Yeah.
If you've got a full copy and then the full copy's got a backup, I mean, you're sweet, you're set. You can make as many mistakes as you want. No, that's awesome. And I do like the fact that you said that it does take someone in a business or in a workplace to try and give that person the confidence, because I do relate to that as well. I think it is important to give back and say, you're okay, you can do this, believe in yourself, you've done the work, you're here for a reason. And was that Evan for you that was able to give you that kind of confidence?
Yeah, he pretty much just like, here you go, Tony, do whatever. You know, if you fail, it's okay, right? Like if you break something, that's all right. And I think that's something I think people should allow new people to do, because the best way to learn is to fail. You don't know you're doing something wrong. You don't know what you're doing right if you don't fail, right? So I think giving new people, especially new people, that ability to fail and have them get up is very important.
Yeah, fail safely. Be that catalyst for learning. That's a really good point. So we're jumping back to the golden hoodie. Very shiny, very exciting. We've all seen it. Can you take us through? I mean, some people have been there in person, but others haven't, or don't even know what it is. But would you be able to take us through what it feels like? How was your presentation? How were you expecting it? Like, tell us what that was like. Take us all through the goosebumps.
Oh God, it was, to be honest with you, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I was asked to speak during the admin keynote, just about my journey. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm not sure how many people's gonna be there. The stage, you know, on the image looked pretty small. I'm gonna be okay. And then I didn't know what was going on, right? Like I wasn't sure. And then there's a few, I'm not going to drop names. There's a few community members like, Tony, I have a feeling that you're going to get a golden hoodie. And I was like, no way. Like, there's no way, right?
Yeah.
So we just went to the event and whatnot. So I kind of had like the idea of me getting or receiving a golden hoodie in my head, but it wasn't something I was expecting at all. It was just there, like someone planted, it's there. But I was like, you know, like it's going to be cool just to go up and speak and share my story. So I received it on the second day. The second day came. So like during the keynote, we were sat at the front row and I noticed I was like at the end of the seat. So there was like 6 other people before me, and
Oh,
I was going last. I was like, oh no, like I have to wait. I was
yeah.
shaky. My hand was sweaty. I had to go to use the bathroom. I couldn't drink any water because I had to go use the bathroom. Like it was, yes, there was a lot. There was a lot going on. And then next thing you know, there's people sitting down, people sitting down, people sitting down, and it's getting closer and closer to me. So I went up on stage. I swear my first 20, 30 seconds, I blacked out. I had no idea. I watched the recording, but I had no idea. I felt like I was just speaking. And then after, I was like, okay, I was able to catch myself and like, you know, look around, you know, things like that. Good thing all my mentors, it was crazy because all my mentors made it to Dreamforce. They all
Oh my gosh,
sat
amazing.
so they all sat in one row. I was facing them. So the first thing I did was look at them, and they were like all clapping and stuff. And then I was trying to, you know, make eye contact and whatnot, and then finish the rest of the story. And then next thing you know, you see this guy carrying a hoodie sprinting from the back. I was like, wait, what? Like this cannot be happening, you know, because like I was like, I pretty much like couldn't really process everything that was going on, like controlling my own emotion, you know, at the same time. It was very exciting. It was a lot. It was a remarkable moment for sure.
That's so much fun. And then you got it and walked down the stairs and you sat next to your mentors or in front of your mentors and just beamed, I bet. Just felt so proud. And
yeah, everybody's like running, hugging me. I was like, oh, I'm not going to cry right now.
Like, oh, everything is so overwhelming.
Yeah, everybody was like coming and hugging and stuff. And I was like, oh, you guys need to stop. It was very special for sure.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that you didn't, well, you kind of thought, but you didn't actually think. It's a common thread. It's like, why me? Why would they choose me type of feeling. For if anyone is like, oh, I can do my story. Yeah, that's fine. But I'm not getting a golden hoodie. Why would you choose me? No, I think it's a very relatable thing. So that, I think that's, I love the fact that someone just came running at you with a golden hoodie from nowhere. That's awesome. But so we talked about mentors and the community and coming through our journeys. They're all very different, right? Mm-hmm. So how important has the Trailblazer community been to you in your journey? Like what have you experienced with the community?
Oh God, I don't even know where to start. To be honest with you, I fell in love with Salesforce because of the community. Like
amazing.
Without the community, I don't think I would be where I am today. So my, you know, everything that I was able to accomplish and went through and everything in between is thank you to the community. Like I won't be here without the community help, right?
Have you had experiences where you go to user groups? Like what is the most powerful aspect of the community? Has it been online with people reaching out to help you, or has it been in person?
Yeah, I think it's both. So like from the community online aspect, I think it's just everybody's so welcoming. Since I started during COVID, you couldn't really have the in-person experience that I feel like a lot of people has had. And, you know, being new in the ecosystem, able to reach out to people and them accepting to talk to you, like that's just amazing. And I had such a great experience with just networking with people. Like that's how I landed my first job, right? Was through a network on LinkedIn, just raw message to Evan, you know, and a lot of my mentors now are also because I met them through either Twitter or like the community space, and everybody just so warm and welcoming. Like it's kind of scary. Like you're willing to give up your time to talk to me. Okay. You know, like, thank you.
Yeah, it is so unusual. I do agree. The why behind it, like, why would you give up your time? But it's nice to know that someone out there has created this ohana where it is totally normal to give back and totally normal to be open to receiving new people and help making them shine on their own journeys. And yeah, you're right. Your unique journey was started virtually. So you were forced to go and join. Did you join any virtual community groups?
Yeah. So I try so many different things just to see like what works. So like Salesforce Saturday, attending different Salesforce Saturdays, and, you know, local user groups. And then my first TDX was virtual. My first Dreamforce was virtual. So like I did a lot. For my first year. Like I was trying to get involved, right? Like as much as I can, because that's what everybody's talking about. It's the power of the community. So I wanted to experience that. I want to see what works for me, what doesn't work for me. So I wanted to try everything.
That's a good point. You do have to find out what works for you and what you flourish in. Everyone should try a different aspect of the community, like answering questions online, sitting on those forums, or being virtual in the community groups, or being in person in the community groups. I mean, just find the way that you interact with the community that suits you, because there are so many different ways and not one works for everyone.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. So now we're a little bit more open and the world is opening back up again. And you look back on the time you've had your golden hoodie. Do you feel like it's changed anything for you professionally or personally? Like, how do you feel with it now?
I think having the golden hoodie give you the ability to share your story and impact more lives, even at a greater scale. And I think that's something I have really enjoyed and love doing, right? I'm mentoring more people that's new to the ecosystem every single day. And there's more people reaching out. There's more people I'm impacting. The amount of life that I'm hoping I can help has increased significantly. So that has been a very cool journey. And that's something I would say that changed a lot over time for sure.
That's nice. And to know that you now kind of have that ability, like you probably would have got there eventually, but the golden hoodie has kind of springboarded you into helping others in the same sort of starting point or journey that you've had, which is nice. And it's good to celebrate the people that have had it, because obviously what you're doing in the community was recognized for being good, and they wanted you to shine a little bit brighter, and gave you an amazing sparkly jacket.
It works.
Yeah. Have you actually worn it somewhere that's not Salesforce-y?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm like, yeah, no, it's not a public transport type of jacket.
I love wrapping the traditional black Trailblazer hoodie, right? Like this is represent everybody else in the community, and this is where we started. So
I do. And when we went to World Tour, I know it came out only when I was like inside the venue. I was like, not even from the car. I was like, no one else will understand.
Oh, wait, hold on. I actually did at Dreamforce. I did wear it to like walk to places. So it's not really at inside a conference area, but like you're still public, and people are like, people were like watching you go by, like, damn. Yeah, like this is crazy. What is that? And then like, it's super cool when you have a bunch of us walking together into like a restaurant, right? So like during TDX, Melissa and Rachel and I was like hanging out a lot, and we were like go eat. And then when we walk in, it's like, man, everybody's like looking like why are they matching? Like just everyone in the community, in like the real world, is like, why are you wearing matching jackets? Like squad goals. Okay, so yeah. So starting out our journeys into the ecosystem, I know that you said that you had a goal in mind. You went out and had a look at different aspects that you could reach this I want to go into tech goal. But anyone else that's in the same sort of circumstance as yourself, maybe they're unsure about what career path they're going into, what advice would you give them? Looking back on how you started and how you came through it, what were kind of aspects of it that you go, that's what I should have done earlier? Or what advice would you give to new starters in a similar circumstance to yourself? I think the most scariest thing I'll say for new people is there's a lot of uncertainty, right? Like trying anything new, there's a lot of uncertainty, and uncertainty is scary. But I think that we all should live outside of our comfort zone a little bit. Like, this is our comfort zone, and you should live like just a little bit outside your comfort zone. And I think that's when, trying something new like Salesforce comes into play. And a lot of times I feel like doing something like that, the uncertainty and the unknown is very rewarding once you find something in it. Because like if you were to doing something comfortable that you're used to, you're already used to it. Like you don't have the same reward that you would doing something that you're scared of doing. So I would highly recommend anyone that's new thinking about joining the Salesforce ecosystem is just go and do it. The only thing that you're wasting really is your time, but that's about it. The worst case scenario, you're going to come out with a bunch of friends, right? Like that's not a bad thing.
That's so true. With a squad. And so when you started your journey, you did just do some bunch of research online. Would you say it's really good? There's lots of different organizations out there to help new starters like yourself, and that's a really good angle to get in, or should they start out doing it themselves?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think both. So I would say most definitely find a program that you can get plugged into, like the military program, Pep Up Tech, Super Moms. There's so many great ones out there. So definitely find the one that fits you and match you so you can relate with people. But also at the same time, you do have to put in the work and study yourself. Because before I started with Pep Up Tech, I didn't get approved right away. So I had to wait like a month or 2 months. I spent 6-7 hours a day on Trailhead for a month and a half straight. Like I treat it as like my full-time job. So I think if you're new, definitely get plugged into like a program, but also at the same time, you have to skill up yourself because that's the habit that's going to continue after you finish the program, right? Like you have to keep skilling up. Yeah.
There's so many opportunities to find a way in the Salesforce ecosystem. I mean, there's like once you start admin, you might even want to do developer. Mm-hmm. You just got your BA certificate. So would you feel, congratulations.
Thank you.
Was it day one as well?
I think it was day one. I mean, I passed it at like 8:30 p.m. Central Time, but my certification says the next day. And I was like, that's why I was like, PS, I can time travel. Because I'm not really sure where this cert is being published from, but to me, that's day one. Like, I could be wrong, but I think that's day one.
It happens to me all the time. I thought it was because I'm in APAC and the cert gets done in like Central Time or something. So maybe like there's some odd, like maybe Back to the Future is producing our certificates.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how this is happening, but that's okay.
We'll call it day one.
Yeah, call it day one.
So do you think, talking about certificates, do you think they're important to a goal? Like, are they something that you set yourself to get done? And should someone else prioritize certificates?
I think certification is definitely important, but it's not a must. It's not a requirement. Being in the Salesforce ecosystem, there's so many amazing people like Steve Moe have probably one certification, but probably one of the smartest person ever, right? I don't own him a beer yet, but maybe one day.
It'll come. Everyone knows Steve Moe a beer.
So there's that, right? And then there's amazing people like Melissa, that's a CTA with 30 plus certification, right? And I think you just have to know where you want to go and what you want to do. So it's like, for me, I'm at 6 certification right now, and I'm getting to the point where I feel like I might stop soon, and that's okay with me, right? So I think it just really depends on what you're looking for and what you want to do.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And there is so many aspects of Salesforce and different journeys as well. Like if you're already in a company and you just have one certification and there's no need or there's no other products that you're learning about, that's what certifications are meant to do, is kind of validate the learnings that you've had and experience that you've experienced through working in different orgs. But if you're not utilizing other products, there's no need to go out and learn a brand new thing just to get this tick in the box. So you're right. It's everyone's individual journey. Choose what you're happy with or what you require at the time.
Yeah.
And it's okay to stop. Like you said, it's fine to get to a point where you're like, I'm not needing anything else at the moment. I'm not learning any new clouds. Maybe that's enough for me at this time. And maybe there'll be another journey for you in a few more years where you learn something completely new. But it's okay to kind of, be comfortable in what your journey's doing and don't be influenced by the outside chat.
Yep, for sure. And the thing is, like, there's a lot of Salesforce product that don't have certification. Like, say, for example, Flow. Maybe they will come out with a certification for that. But they're like, you don't need a certification to prove you're a Flow expert, right? Like, there's products that's in Salesforce that is so important that don't have a cert. So it's like, or formula, like for Steve Mo, there's not a formula cert. He's probably going to be the one that writes it, but like, there's no cert for that. So I think, it just really depends.
That's a good point. Yeah. I definitely think that flow is such a big, important aspect to learn. So definitely prioritize what you would be using in your org as an employee, like as an admin or a dev or a BA or an architect. You definitely prioritize what you will need for the job rather than just getting a certification for the purpose of getting a certification.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're getting to kind of the fun part of the podcast where I ask a fun question. It's the same for everyone, but it's fun to talk about. If you could be an animal, what animal would it be and why?
That's an easy one for me. I would say I want to be a monkey.
Fun.
So I'm born in the year of a monkey.
Yep.
Banana's my favorite fruit. Yellow's my favorite color.
Yep.
And monkey's my favorite fruit. There might not be like a correlation, okay? Like, so I would be a monkey.
That's fun. I like that one. That one's really, and I love the banana. Yellow. I think blue's my favorite color, and I do love the ocean. So I don't know. Maybe wait for my episode to see what type of animal I'll be.
Exactly.
Cool. So we're at a point where I will happy to open the floor to my guests for an open mic little bit, so you can recommend, promote, reiterate, words of wisdom time. Over to you, Tony.
Oh God. A lot of the things that I have been doing and really enjoy doing is to help people transition into Salesforce, right? Like similar backgrounds myself, new people that's joining the ecosystem. There's a lot. So like, if anyone that's listening and thinking about, joining the Salesforce ecosystem, or even wanting to help people like myself back in the days, getting started, there's a lot of opportunities like that out there. And the people that are transitioning to Salesforce need a lot of help. Right? Like they need a lot of support. They need a lot of guidance. There's a lot of structure that's being needed. And it's important to relate with those people, especially for people that's coming from like a different background or a different group of, just a different group of people. It's really important to relate with people. I feel like a lot of times it's very hard for people to relate with others, but it's important to do so. Everybody have a story to tell. And I think that's really important to think about. So anyone that's new, that's joining, definitely reach out to, any of us, anyone in the community. There's plenty of help. Just message people. It's like, don't be afraid, just go and just go and do it. So that's like, kind of like my,
well, that's how you got your job, wasn't it? You cold message someone because you thought that would be the best opportunity, and obviously it was.
Yeah, and now he's like my best friend. Like we hang out every single day almost. We go get coffee together. We do super bags together. We do trailhead together. Like if you see me, you see Evan. You see Evan, you see me, kind of thing, So like it's not just even getting a job. It's like you could meet like your best friend. You could meet like the relationship that you built is just amazing, right? So it's like just go out there and do it.
Yeah, like I think there's someone for everyone in the community. Connecting with someone even just watching from afar if you're not like confident enough yet, and just find that aspect that you thrive in. Like, so if people want to reach out to you, Tony, what platform do you hang on the most?
So I respond to pretty much all my message on LinkedIn. So you can reach me at LinkedIn. LinkedIn and Twitter is probably going to be the two that I use the most, and both are at SF Tony N. It's pretty easy, SF nice. Tony N. So if anyone wants to reach out to me, feel free. I promise I will answer. Yeah.
That's amazing. No, that's so much fun. Thank you for joining us today, Tony. I had so much fun talking to you about your journey. Hopefully it inspires someone out there. And also, if you want to reach out, definitely reach out to either of us. And we hope to see you in the community. Thanks for joining us, Tony.
Yeah, thank you.